Hey everyone, it is Tuesday, January 4th. The time is 11:48 a.m. and the temperature outside is around -1 degree Celsius. And I'm here at Dundas West Station, and that's a westbound train, and that'll be heading over to Kipling Station. This is the final day before all the restrictions kick in. And for this one, I'll be heading on up to Bloor Street West. And I'll walk west along Bloor Street and into Bloor West Village. And I think I'll finish up around Jane Station. And it seems to be a relatively quiet day in the city so far. And that was an eastbound train rolling in. And this is Dundas Street West. I'm just gonna pop the mask off here. And just across the street, unfortunately not connected to the Dundas West subway station, is a GO station where you can also catch the Union Pearson Express that'll take you over to the big airport. It's certainly a bit nicer out than it was yesterday. And this is walking west along the north side of Bloor Street West. So I think this one will be a little under 3 kilometers or so, and should take a little over half an hour. And there's a Lithuanian banquet hall. I remember heading into the city and writing some exams in that building. That was back when I used to work in the insurance industry. That was for my first ever job at a university. And the neighborhood just to the north of here, I believe, is known as West Bend. And then it'll be through the High Park and Swansea neighborhoods. But I guess the real story today is that things are going to be quite different tomorrow. And although the restrictions kick in at midnight for bars, restaurants, and cafes, it actually really kicks in at 10 p.m. as they've already been limited to not being able to have dine-in customers after 10. And I posted a video this morning where I went over the restrictions, so I'm not going to repeat all of them again. But you can squarely put me on the team that considers them mostly unnecessary. And I don't think it'll be a particularly busy day out anyways, so I was really trying to think of the optimal time to come out and record a video. And since I'm thinking of maybe doing a live stream tonight, I thought let's just get out and do it. And there's where the subway runs above ground. And there's some interesting artwork on the back of this former Midas, known as the Keele Wall. And I'll have to swing back there before this building gets redeveloped. And coming up is Keele Street. So Keele Station will be on the right. And after that, there'll be High Park Station, then Runnymede Station, and then I'll finish at Jane. So this walk will span 5 stations in total. And last night I was able to eat out at a local Chinese restaurant. And I'm looking to do something similar tonight. I think these businesses need all the help they can get. And it's amazing, of all the friends and family I've talked to, there's just been one person who seems to be supporting this round of restrictions. So I think not only has our provincial government lost the plot, but they've lost the public as well. And there is a large lineup across the street. What is that for? Seem to be lined up at a tattoo shop. Hi, can I ask what this lineup is for?
Tattoos.
It's a tattoo shop? Thank you. Apparently it's for a tattoo shop. He saw my camera and shook his head as if I was going to interview him. And there's Keele Street to the north and Parkside Drive to the south. That's weird, I might have to look that one up. I'm not sure that one-word answer tells the whole story behind that place. And here is High Park. And I'll probably be back doing a walk through there at some point over the coming months. And there's a look to the east. And I mentioned in my video yesterday, but it really does kind of feel like Groundhog Day. I've been doing this channel for over 3 years now, 2/3 of which have taken place during the pandemic. And all of the narrated videos I've done, where I talk my way through the video, have been done during that time as well. I almost don't even know what it's like to make videos during normal times. And I was planning on doing a lot of traveling when I went full-time on this channel, but that hasn't come to be either. And I guess my point is, given the circumstances, things really should look and feel quite normal right now. I'm gonna cross back over. There's a rabus of these retail stores. The lucky ones that get to stay open are limited to 50% capacity. That's the gyms and fitness centers and those sort of things that are once again going to be shut out. And coming up is, I guess what you could say, the main entrance to High Park. That would be the Colburn Lodge. That's on the south side. On the north side is High Park Avenue. And this is where we'll find subway station number 3. Started at Dundas West, went past Keele, and now High Park. So I guess this is around the midway point of the walk. And we'll soon be heading into Bloor West Village. There's a look into High Park. And you can enter High Park Station right there. And there's a number of older apartment buildings where there's proposals to put condos on those lots as well. It's kind of interesting in a neighborhood full of single-family detached dwellings. The already densely built-up lots are just going to get even denser. That kind of speaks to the city's poor zoning. There really should be more medium density housing in neighborhoods like this, especially when you have such a main street and a subway line. But the NIMBY opposition is strong. So what ends up happening is all the pressure to build ends up on the lots that already have high rises, so they're more likely to get approved. So it's kind of like squeezing pimples. That's the spot where they pop up. And I can't say I'm too fond of how these units front Bloor Street. This really ought to be retail. There seems to be a rash of people just walking in the bike lane. So I'm almost at the western edge of High Park. There's a unit for rent in this building. viewit.ca/B902. Since we've got a red light, I wonder if I can one hand look that up. viewit.ca/ is that B902? Oop. Let's see if I did that right. And it says all units are currently offline. I have a picture of the building on my phone. I don't, you can see that. I gotta take that sign down. There we go, we are in Bloor West Village. So this is handy, I started here, and now we are here, and I'm walking to here. There's High Park. Senior Day, last Tuesday of the month. Well, at least we got a nice blue sky today, so we can kiss a lot of our freedom goodbye with a nice clear sky. That's something for you. Gotta take all the small victories you can get these days. I think almost everyone has this sinking feeling that in 2 weeks or 3 weeks' time, we might even see more restrictions get piled on. Just given the fact that there's not really strong evidence to support the existing ones going in. I know people will disagree with that, to which I would say I'm not an expert, but show me some proof. Because Doug Ford certainly didn't during his press conference. And there's a really nice old library coming up on the right. A good example of Canadian style architecture. And I think maybe I'll cross over to the south side of the street. It seems as if when I walk through Bloor West Village, I'm usually on this side. There's the Runnymede branch of the public library. And that dates back to 1930. And these bike lanes don't extend much further. They just go west for a few more blocks. And to the east, except for a part around Dundas West where they get interrupted due to construction that never seems to be ending. They're continuous all the way over to Dawes Road. And that is just short of the former borough of Scarborough. But in the city of Toronto, Scarborough never seems to get any nice things, so can't let them have a bike lane. And they took away the bike lane on Brindley before it really even had a chance to take off.
Yeah, and he gives you a lot of information.
And here's the no frills on the left. It's kind of funny, even with the capacity limits in place. You go into a supermarket or any of these large stores and you're shoulder to shoulder with people walking around uncovered like it's no big deal, yet that's perfectly fine in the eyes of the province. But can I go to a restaurant, which in my experience has been probably the safer environments you could go in? They seem to be quite strict on their safety protocols. All the waiters are careful and covered up. But nope, that's where the problem lies. Certainly can't be the everyone into the pool effect of all the big box stores. You can tell I'm not bitter about that at all. And last year the kicker was they allowed the big box retailers to sell non-essential items, but they didn't allow small retailers to. So let's say you needed a toaster, your options were go to Amazon or go to Walmart, or anything for that matter. And these small retailers don't have the ability to just set up online and compete with the Amazons and Walmarts. So it was a massive, massive windfall for big business and crippling blows to small business, and we seem to be going down that road again. But the good news is, with an election around the corner, a fresh screw-up in 2022 should hopefully remind the masses not to re-elect the current Neanderthal in charge. Church's Texas Chicken. That looks really good. It's been a while since I've had Church's. And there's a big 2 stories Popeye coming up. And this is Dury Street. And you'll notice the bike lanes have come to an end. And I think I walked right past Runnymede without pointing it out. That's where Runnymede Station was. And coming up is Windermere, which I think you can take south all the way down to Lakeshore. Here's Windermere. I remember riding my bike up here on a ride I recorded in the summer. And all lights are red. There we go. St. Olave's Anglican Church. Is it St. Olave or St. Olive, the fictional town where Betty White's character from the Golden Girls is from? There's a hearse. You don't seem to see too many of those these days. I think they've kind of fallen out of fashion.
So I guess that way still have her.
And here is Armadale Avenue. So I'm just one block shy of Jane Street. And you can enter Jane Station just half a block to the north there. All draft, $6 all day long. I think there's a lot of bars and restaurants really getting screwed over this because they probably have a lot of stock, particularly draft beer, that won't stay fresh forever. And what are they supposed to do on that? Just sit on it and let it spoil? Just more things the government pays no mind to. And as a taxpayer, I don't mind reimbursing those costs, but it really shouldn't be necessary in the first place. Nothing makes sense anymore. And here's Jane Street. There's an old theater across the street that's been torn down. And the Humber River, which signifies the border to the former borough of Etobicoke, is just to the west of here, along with the old mill. And here we are at Jane Station, although the entrance is more this way. You can get to it from Bloor Street West. And there we go, a walk starting at Dundas West as I fiddle to get my mask on. Heading west into Bloor West Village and ending here at Jane Station. Sorry for yet again a less than upbeat walk. There's just not a whole lot to be cheerful about lately. You could catch the 26 DuPont bus there. This is really one of the more utilitarian subway stations. It's certainly not winning any beauty awards. I'm fine with that as long as it's relatively well maintained. Those transit operators probably hear all kinds of sob stories. All right, and now it's time to catch an eastbound train. Well, I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support the channel, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership in the description. I also have an Instagram account, a merch store at strideswag.com, and there's a link to PayPal. All right, thank you for watching, and as always, I will catch you on the next one.